Dear people of Great Britain, it's presidential hopeful Judd Charlton here again, and my latest broadcasts have raised a number of questions which people have sent to me, which I think are worth looking at. BL68 says, your broadcasts aren't looking very presidential. Maybe you should wear a tie. Right, well, there you go, BL. There's my tie. It's actually silk, and it's quite a nice paisley. I don't know if you can catch that on the film, but sadly I seem to have a couple of hot rod burns, but maybe that makes me look a little bit more presidential for you. Yes. And Mabel from Neasden says, what are you going to do with all the paedophiles once you become president? Can we expect mass executions? Well, yes, Mabel, it's a good question, because I know it is a natural feeling to, once you find out what these creeps have done, to want to hang them from the nearest lamppost or chop their heads off. But I'm not for capital punishment myself. I think that once you start executing people and setting up things like guillotines in Leicester Square and kicking heads around, then it's really difficult for the population to stop, and you start executing all sorts of people that you didn't expect to execute to start with. So I think that we're going to give the executions a wide berth. I'm not going to do any executions of vicious VIP paedophiles. Instead, what I've been considering is building some secure installations, preferably underground, so that these fuckers never see the light of day again. They will be interrogated every day for what they know, and it will be a living hell. And I think that's much more of an appropriate punishment for the crimes against humanity that these creeps have committed. Now, the big question is, what is going to be done with the big enchilada and her family? Yes, I am, of course, talking about HRH Elizabeth Windsor, alias the Queen. She's obviously the most vicious and nasty of the whole of the bunch. So I've got a special situation which I think may be of use to them. I think that they should be put into the Tower of London, but not necessarily. I think we can dig a tunnel and have a corridor of shame. I don't know if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, the place where Hannibal Lecter lives. There's this long corridor with all the psychopaths of the world, all the maniacs, and as she walks down, she sees one by one, and oh my God, there's Charlie, there's Camilla, and they're all in their own little personal compartments. And then right down the other end of the corridor is the worst of the worst. It's Elizabeth, the Queen, right at the other end, and she's there, all strapped up with her mask so she doesn't bite anyone. And I mean, I think there should be very sparse rooms, just a bed and a toilet, and there should be CCTV so everyone can see if the Queen actually goes for shit. And I think that might be a useful thing. And also what we can do is we can have the public go past and look at them. And tourists, there's been a lot of suggestion that the royal family bring in a lot of money for tourism. Well, we could charge a tenner a head for the tourists to come and see the royal family, and they'll always be in, and you could actually have a chat with them. And there'll be a little television screen next to each compartment displaying their crimes and how many people they've murdered, and all the genocides that they're responsible for, the Mohawk Indians and the Rwandan massacre and all things like that. So that's what I was thinking of doing for them. But like I say, I think it would be a good idea, although the temptation is to want to execute these fuckers. I think it's probably best not to. I mean, the other thing is that they may have useful information. We could torture them for their information. Saying that, I don't actually agree with torture either, but I do think it might be an idea to extraordinary rendize Tony Blair, maybe stick him in, send him to Syria or something, and let them deal with him. They can waterboard him until the cows come home, as far as I'm concerned. So that's what I'm suggesting that we do with the Crims. Stick them underground in their own personal little cells and let them mull over what they've done to the population. Also, the other thing is, it's like, what do we do with their wealth? Well, the wealth will be given to the people. For example, Leon Britton's house is going to be up for sale, and I was thinking of possibly squatting it, getting squatters to come in and live there. Same with Kenneth Clark, who banned squatting. So I was thinking that we could fill their houses full of squatters. I think that would be insult to these creeps. Yes, vote Judd for president of GB. You know, it makes sense.